What is up, guys? It's your boy Fix It Daniel, and welcome 2025. Today, we're going to be talking about some updates of what we plan on doing for 2025 and kind of going from there. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you guys so much for your support and welcome to 2025. This year, we're hoping that we do some cool stuff, get some more stuff going out, and just trying to bring you guys some more stuff as well. We're basically going to be talking about what is going to be happening for 2025. What are we going to be doing? What some new things I have done or I'm planning on doing and thought of, and just kind of gotten the whole, everything as a whole. We're talking about everything as a whole for 2025, what we plan on doing, what we're going to try and do. So without further ado, let's just talk about it. So guys, basically what we will be doing this year for 2025 is basically, I decided I took, after the break. So I work at my job, and I normally around December we're off for about another for till the end of the year. So about December to after New Year's, I'm usually off. So it took me a while. I had to recess myself, think of a lot of things because with the way my channel goes, I fix things, and there's a lot of times I don't have a whole lot to show you guys. So, and I've mentioned it plenty of times in my other videos of updates and stuff like that, that if I don't have anything to produce, I'm not showing you anything. And that's still kind of the same, because it's kind of hard to go chase something if you don't have anything to show. I can't kind of do a new car build because I don't really have, I don't have a room for a car build. It would have to be done outside, which is still not a bad thing, but I don't live in an area where it's stays warm all the time. It's cold and hot. I live in Virginia, so it's not like Miami. It's not like California, where the temperature's kind of staying the same all the time, or Texas, or anything down south. It doesn't stay consistently to kind of do a lot of more cooler, bigger stuff. I don't have a bigger place to do the cooler fixes. I could do another bike build. I got some room for that. But this is my dream bike right here that I really want to keep working on. So there are a lot of things that I have right now that I still have a lot of good content that I could do. I have stuff I could do on the bike. I have stuff I can do on the truck. I have stuff I could do on the car. So, or any other odd little fixes and stuff that I have. So I just been trying to really recess myself and thinking about, what can I do for 2025? Not really more, to elevate, not really to make it better than 2024 or do something crazier than I did in 2024. It's really just elevating a little bit more, doing some more stuff, planning more, laying out my ideas a little bit more instead of just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. And with the cars and the truck, it's really more of a maintenance kind of thing. A lot of the stuff I was doing was maintenance requirements. So if I had something to do as maintenance requirement and I could show it to you guys, that's what I did. But doing anything crazy like on the side is pretty much the bike. The bike is pretty much not my main vehicle. I like to use it as my main vehicle as far as like when I go out and do some errands, or if I just want to go out and do something by myself. I want to take the bike because there's no point in putting all the wear and tear on my truck when I got a bike I can do it on. So the bike is more of a secondary kind of vehicle when it's just me, when I'm doing something by myself or I don't need to take my family with me. I take the wear and tear off the truck and put it on the bike. And this bike can go from here to Timbuktu with no problem. So there are some videos and stuff that I need to do on this. So pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much the three main vehicles we're sticking with right now. Unless I get, my wife another car or something like that, which I would love to do. Get her something a little bit bigger. That would be pretty cool. I always thought about doing like a Copart build, go find a Copart car that she'd like and then fix it up. That would be something really cool to do, because it's something that if it's sustainable enough where I can leave it outside, that'd be great. and then we make a pick her up something or something like that. That's a long distance kind of thing. I would love to get her something a little bit more bigger. She wants like an SUV kind of a vehicle, which would be nice. She likes the Matrix that she's driving, but I know she really like to have an SUV, a midsize, not like a Suburban or Tahoe, more like a Ford Explorer or some kind of like maybe Honda Pilot or something like that. Something kind of like that kind of round. Nothing, not a big SUV, but just like a mid, small, good size SUV. So, and then I got stuff for the truck. I love my truck. There's a lot of things I could do on the truck. A lot of it morely is maintenance stuff. There are some creature comforts I would like to add, but really, morely right now it's maintenance stuff. So we'll talk about all three of the vehicles that we need to do. So, but right now, what we're gonna probably do is we're gonna go and I gotta go do an errand. So we'll probably talk about the truck, what I want to do for the truck, what I need to do for the truck, and then we'll come back. We'll talk about the bike, and then we'll talk about the car and some other things. Just so you guys know, I still have parts. I got parts all over the place. Let me show you guys real quick, just before we get started talking about the I've truck. Been, dealing with parts. As you guys remember seeing in some of my videos, I did have like tons and tons of parts. I still have some. Like, I still got a lot of parts. Like, this area is all still parts from the floor to up here. It's all parts. And then I still have parts here. I still have some really cool parts. Now, I hadn't been like blowing it up with like on here talking about parts because the last time I did, no one really gave two hoots about it. So I kind of let it go. But there are some really significant parts here that are cool. Like, this is a, shaft for a BMW, a drive shaft for a Chevy pickup. I got a Jeep radiator fan there. I got a radiator fan for a Lincoln Town Car, Crown Vic kind of thing. I have a bunch of stuff. This right here is a side steps for I think it's a Honda Pilot. Honda Pilot, newer model. I got a intercooler for a Buick Envoy turbo. I mean, I got bunch of parts that's really worth somebody having, but no one seems to be really biting. I mean, I had a lot of parts, don't get me wrong, because it was filled out to here with parts and up higher. So I've had sold quite a few on Facebook Marketplace, but I really want these parts to go to somebody that could really needs them and wants them, but it's just hard on Facebook. I mean, it's really is. I've been trying to sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace. I've had it up there for quite a while, and I get people that are wishy-washy. And I hate knocking on people because I don't like being knocked on, but it's just really difficult on Facebook Marketplace because you get a lot of ghosting people on Facebook Marketplace. They talk about they want it, they're interested, they hit you up, they ask you a bunch of questions, which everything's in the description, you can read it, and then then they ghost you. It's just Facebook Marketplace is a great place to sell stuff. I really do, and you can find stuff just as much as you sell stuff. But man, oh man, it's just a headache. With people who are not being serious. So I have to probably tweak my accounts and with all those items and kind of be a little bit more aggressive with it, saying, if it's available, if you see up here, it's still available and serious inquirers only, because I keep getting a lot of people that are just hit or miss. They ask about the part, they're interested in the part, we make an agreement to meet to get the part, and then nothing. They just they let it go like it's no big deal. And it sucks on the other end too, because there's people who are trying to sell parts too. And now I know what it feels like, because sometimes I may have a part in there. I may ask questions to people, and then I kind of like, I don't really want it, or I don't have the money right now, but I was just asking just to kind of get my mind brain. And there's nothing wrong with that. I get it. You want to like test it. Hey, is this something I really need to get? Is this something I really want to get? Nah, I don't really need to get it right now. Or I don't have the money right now. It is something that I do want, but it's something that I don't want. So for me, what I've been doing mostly is that unless I'm ready to buy, I just don't buy. I just don't message the customer, because, I I know what it feels like when you're trying to sell something and someone's really trying to sell that part, but then they're kind of like, dude, you gonna buy this part or not? And it's like, no. And then they get upset, you know, dude, why did you even like message me if you're not interested in the part? So a lot of people have been putting serious inquiries only. I'm not answering unless you're ready to buy, you know, all that stuff, because it is a headache on Facebook Marketplace trying to sell stuff. It is a good place to sell stuff because I've sold a lot of the parts, but it is also kind of a hard to sell because a lot of people aren't being really serious about buying. They're hit or miss. They like it, interested, but then they're not really interested in really buying it. Or, you know, I only have one of the part that they need of two, and I understand that part, but one is better than none. But some people want both, and I totally understand that, but, you know, and then they don't want it. So, and I have these parts at really low prices, way more lower than they should be selling for, because I want them gone. But I just have to be patient, and I'm gonna probably try some other platforms like, you know, Craigslist or Nextdoor or some other ones to kind of get these parts going, because I really want them gone. It's not taking up too much room, but it would free up some of the room in my garage. To where I can move the bike up, do more room to do a lot more stuff, maybe even grab another bike, stuff like that. That's something we'll probably talk about. Probably not, but we'll get to the bike stuff later. But so that's what I have. I do have parts. If you guys are interested in some of these parts, it is on my Facebook page. I don't have it's not linked, just my regular Facebook page, but I do have a marketplace on there. So if you guys are interested in some parts and you're like, hey, what do you got? I can tell you. I do got a spreadsheet of all the parts I have left. So I can tell you what I do have if you're looking for something. Just right off the top of the head, I have some stuff for BMW. I have some stuff for Chevy, Dodge. I got some Ford parts. I got some Jeep parts. See, I got some Volvo parts, some Mercedes parts, and then a little bit in between of different kinds of things. So if you're looking for some stuff, please go in the comments. Let me know if you're looking for something particular. I may have it, I may not have it. But, you know, if you're really adamant looking for some parts, I do have them at a really good price. And they're the same price I have it on Facebook Marketplace. I've gone as low as I go. I'm not going any lower than where I have it. Because if I go any lower, I won't make any money. So I have them at the lowest as I will go. And I left it right there. I'm not going any lower. And I think it's a great deal for anybody that's looking for some parts. But right now I need to go do an errand. So we'll go talk first about the truck. Okay, guys. So we're in the truck. Truck's been running good. I haven't had any problems with it. We took it up north for family while we were on in December, while I was on break. Basically with the truck, it's just more maintenance stuff. One of the major things I need to do is I need to replace the transmission fluid and filter. I did it on my wife's car. So her car's running really good and smooth and everything's working really great, which I'm happy about. But I also need to do it in mine. Just the maintenance of it, and I have not done it since I've owned it, and I don't know when it's been changed. So it's probably a good idea to probably get it changed. But as you know, if you are in, you know, anywhere in the Virginia and up, it is cold. It is 20 degrees outside right now. It is freezing. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't done any videos since my last one, which was the bike. Just because it's super cold. I got that done just before it got really, really cold. It was cold, but it wasn't this cold. Like it's like almost 19 in the garage. It's that cold. That's been one of the other things. And that's really hard when you're in wintertime in the in the west up north. It's really cold, unless you got a garage that's insulated, or even just heat it a little bit, or even just in the garage, a big enough garage where you can do some projects, then it's not so bad. You can put a heater in or something like that, where I don't really have that. It's either outside or inside, and all the vehicles have to be done outside, and there's no way I'm doing, unless it needs to be done, major work in 20-degree weather.
It's just hard to get videos out. I actually was reason why I'm just now doing a video is I was sick for a little bit. The little stomach flu thing that was going around. I got hit with that a little bit, so I was down for a little while when we came back from our trip. And then I had, what they call creator's block. I really didn't have anything to produce. I had one thing on top of my head, but I was sick. But other than that, it wasn't anything great, anything crazy. Nothing needs to be done to the vehicle significantly right now. The one thing I do want to do the transmission replace of the filter and fluid. There are a few things I wanted to do with that, but it's just hard because it's cold. It's 20 degrees, and we're supposed to be getting snow, like 2 to 3 inches, 1 to 3 inches of snow. Probably tomorrow. So, it's really hard to get stuff going, and then when it's super cold and everything like that, it's just really, 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 really difficult. So, I just have to figure out stuff to do, but like I said, I don't have anything to produce. And if I don't have anything to produce, that is something that I'm not going to do. And that's one of the things for 2025 that I'm really adamant about. I love doing stuff on this channel and showing you guys, but really, honestly, if I don't have anything to produce, I can't show anything. I'm not going to show anything. I know there's a lot of YouTubers that this is their bread and butter, so they have to produce something. I'm not in that position to do that. I have another job that I work for, so this is more of a side kind of hustle for me, side thing to do for you guys and showing people stuff. So if I don't have anything to produce or have anything to show, I'm not going to show it. So that's just one of the things that I have the advantage of, but it kind of sucks because with it being so super cold, and not having any ideas of what to do, it does lengthen my time with, doing YouTube videos. So it may go, maybe a couple of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, hopefully a month, of not doing any videos because I don't have anything to show. But I try to basically, when I do have something to show, I try to make sure it's the best, good quality information that's out there. So that is what I have to produce right now. I know some people try to elevate it and do something crazy. I'm not in the position to do that. So I have to just give you what I got. Think about things ahead of time before I do it. What can I do? Do I have enough to do this? Do I have the money to go buy this, to do this? So a lot of this stuff like I've been doing is something that I'll be doing on my own, but I'm trying to show you guys as well. So it's not like I'm trying to chase the algorithm to get more money, to get more viewers. I mean, I would love to have more viewers, but right now I just don't have enough to produce to get more viewers, because in order for me to get more viewers, I have to do some more crazy stuff, and I'm not in a position to do that. I'm just an average guy doing videos for the average guy to help people out. And right now in my position, I'm not in the position to kind of elevate to get more crazier builds or sell the bike and get a different bike to keep the momentum going. I love that bike. That's my favorite bike. And like I said, we'll talk about that. We can stay on the truck. So the truck, basically, it needs a few things. And I'm gonna go off of what it needs to be done. So one is I need to get the transmission and filter replaced. That's one. So that's my number one priority right now, because I want to get it changed. I've been driving this thing up north a few times, back and forth, and I just want to make sure that this truck lasts. It's got 206,000 miles on it, so I want to make sure this truck lasts long. It's a good running truck. It's strong. I've loved this truck. This is probably one of the trucks I've always wanted when I was looking at trucks, and I got it. So I want to keep this truck running for a long, as long as I can keep it running. So I want to make sure the transmission and the oil changes are supposed to be done like they're supposed to, and all the maintenance that's required to have this thing done. So I definitely want to keep this truck running. So transmission, filter, replacement. That's what I want to do. Plus, I want to add a dipstick. I found out that there's a dipstick that you can get for this truck, because it has a dipstick, but it doesn't have a long dipstick like the old vehicles used to have, and I can make that happen. So that's one of the things that I would actually like to do. Excuse the vibration. Just I got it on the mount, so it's rocking back and forth for the truck. So so that's what I want to do. One of the other things I want to do is, and this is more maintenance stuff, I need to get the drive shaft re-greased. So where the drive shaft is between, there's like two pieces. So the drive shaft needs to be re-greased, because whatever happens when I stop or go, it makes a clunky noise. It's not nothing bad, nothing's gonna get torn up, but it's basically saying that there's no grease in between those two pieces, and it's hard clunking together. It doesn't do it all the time, so it's something that I could, kind of drive with, but I want to take that off and get that redone. One of the other things I want to do while I'm messing with the rear end, I would love to put a 373 gear in here. Not doing anything crazy, but I've experienced a vehicle with a 373. I had a Crown Vic that I put a 373 gear in. I had to get a tuner to tune it, and that was quick acceleration. For this truck, if I was ever going to haul something or just even regular cruising, the acceleration and pickup would be tremendous. Now, mind you, I do have a roar pedal in here that would actually just add more extra acceleration to this truck, which will make this truck be from being kind of a sluggish puller to actually just moving really significantly well. So one of my things I would like to do is get a 373 gear in the rear and change the fluid and get that changed, and then I also have to buy a program tuner so I can fix the speedo, because your speedo will be completely off. Got to change it in the computer. So that's one of the things I want to do. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to do the brakes. So the front, mind you, remember we had the issue with the driver's side brakes, pads and rotors. That was okay, not a problem. It's running pretty good, but I still have the warped rotor on there. So what I plan on doing is I plan on replacing the front pads and rotors, both of them. That way they're both good to go. The rears are perfectly fine, it's just the front. So before I start doing all this crazy replacement stuff, I want to replace the rotor pads, all that stuff. Hopefully that'll take away some of the hesitation, but I freed it up as much as I can free it. I bled it as much as I can bleed it. If anything, if it still keeps snagging up, I may just get a whole brand spanking new caliper, and just completely get that redone and replaced. But I want to get new brakes in the front. Now that's pretty much it for the brakes and stuff, but I do want to get a new suspension. So these shocks and struts they're wearing out. So they weren't wearing out when I got it, but they're wearing out now. So I have two ideas. So with the shocks and struts all the way around, I could just put some regular OEMs or regular just plain Jane shocks and struts, no big whoop there. Or I could go a little crazy and I could put some Fox shocks from the SVT Raptor. So I found some shocks and struts that'll fit on this truck, that'll actually mock up to this truck, but they're Fox shocks off of the Raptor, off the SVT Raptor. Now, I could go crazy with that, but they're like $1,000 for all four. So, which is not a bad deal, because I know that they'd be really good stable shocks. They'd be good for off-roading. If I ever hit a really major bump, this thing would take it, because those are kind of like Baja shocks. But it doesn't lift anything. It doesn't mess with the suspension. It may lift it a little bit, but the suspension feel will be great. So that's something I'm thinking about doing. That's one of the, so the one major thing I want to do is the transmission, and then two, I want to do the shocks and struts, because the ride is definitely, I can feel it. The rear end's all over the place. So I definitely want to replace them with some either just regular brand new shocks and struts, or go crazy and do the Fox shocks and struts, which I would love to go for the Fox shock struts. That would be really cool. So that's one of the things I want to do. The motor is running really good. I've changed the spark plugs. I want to probably change the belt. I do a regular oil change maintenance. I think it's probably due soon for an oil change. So definitely going to get that taken care of, and just try to keep this truck running as great as I possibly can. Just to keep it running. As long as I keep the maintenance up on this truck, it'll last me forever. And I love this truck. I don't want anything to happen to it with the transmission and the motor, because I lackingly decided not to take care of it. So that's something that I want to do. So let me take care of what I need to take care of right now, and then we will come back and keep going. Okay, guys, so we're back. So just one more quick thing we're going to talk about is the interior. So let me flip it and show you. So the interior, I do want to get some new seats, because these seats, this one and the driver's side, are ripped a little bit. So right here, I want to either get a seat cover or some new seat, pieces. So that's what I want to get. And then one of the other things I wanted to do is I want to change this out. So this is just a regular stereo set with the disc drive. I want to replace this with a full digital screen. So that way I can Bluetooth it with the Apple CarPlay stuff, or Android CarPlay, stuff like that, navigation off my phone onto here. This will stay, and then this will just from here down will get changed. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. That's one of the things that I wanted to do. Haven't gotten to it yet with a backup camera or even a front camera, stuff like that. That's what I want to do for that. And then one of the very last things on the inside that I would like to get, and it's a little expensive and it might be a little bit more of a want than a need, is the digital display screen. So on eBay, in my model, they sell a full digital display. The RPM, the speedo, everything, even up here, they're all digital. It's a one big digital screen. It's about like $1,000 on eBay. I found. I would love to get one of those to replace this, and it actually says it'll fit and work in my vehicle. So it looks like it's just a plug and play. You just take this out, replace it with a digital one, and that's it. So I'm really would love to have that, and it looks really, really cool. It's definitely one of the coolest things that I would love to get. So that's probably the last major thing. It's not a really much of a need, but I would love to have it just so I can replace these things from breaking, because I've had problems with this one and this one, if you guys remember. So nothing up here yet, thank God, but just these two have been an issue. And then that's pretty much it for the interior. Maybe some TVs in the headrest or something like that, but that's about it. So that's pretty much it for the inside. There's not really too much to do with it. I like everything. Everything is really good. Nothing's broken or cracked or breaking. So I'm really happy with that. Like I said, most of the stuff I'm going to be taking care of. I would love to get some of the maintenance stuff done. But, and then hopefully some of the cosmetic stuff could be done too. That would be really nice to just have done. So hopefully, we could kind of get something going with that. But yes, so there are some stuff coming for this truck. Probably be more towards the warmer side. Probably the only thing right now I would probably take care of is the transmission, and normally a natural oil change. That's just that's a maintenance change. There's nothing that I would be waiting on. So yeah, it would definitely be the transmission. That would be one thing that I would be doing, and then any other maintenance stuff. But as far as like the non-necessary items that I want to add to it, unless I get it at a good price now instead of later, then I would wait until we're a little bit more set up to move on to the next thing. So really right now it's just 3 things. It's well, 4. So it'd be the transmission and the filter. That's 1. Taking care of the brakes, making sure that thing is nice and straight and not wobbling anymore. That's 2. 3 is the shocks, and then 4 is just regular maintenance stuff that just happens to come up, belts or something like that. Something that just breaks or happens to be replacing. But right now, those are the 4 things that I'd be doing, and that would be that's pretty much it for the truck. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about the my wife's car, since it's not there. She's driving it. So that's what the next thing we'll be talking about is my wife's car. Okay, so we're going to talk about my wife's car, what needs to be done on her car. So her car needs probably more of the love, but it is running. I have to keep the maintenance up on it. The last thing I did to it was the transmission and filter, which it needed it because the transmission was like fluid, was like black like coffee, but it was still holding. But with the all-wheel drive system, it needs the regular maintenance change. So I changed the filter and the oil. So that actually worked out pretty good. So it's running pretty good, no problems. So for hers needs a little bit more love. So for one, hers is the number 1 priority for hers is she needs new brakes all the way around. So brakes all the way around. Probably shocks and struts as well, because the suspension is this thing is starting to go. One of the other things is she needs to get is a valve cover gasket replaced. So it's leaking just a little bit of oil, because I do notice that she's burning a lot more oil than normal, and I do see some liquiding deposits. Luckily it's not leaking on the exhaust, which that's good, but it is something that does need to be taken care of. So yeah, so that's something that definitely would need to be done. So we'll take care of that. Plus, we're also going to be taking care of the so brakes, shocks and struts, and then we're also going to be taking a look at the valve cover gasket. So we'll be doing the valve cover gasket. And then she needs some motor stuff. Like, I probably want to replace the belt. She needs a new air filter. I'll probably replace all of her spark plugs and coils. So hers needs a little bit more maintenance love than anything. So that's probably what we'll start with, getting all the major components done. And trying to find the brake pads and rotors was really difficult. So because I ordered some and they didn't fit. They were a little bit too big. So I have to be really particular about her year, make, and model, because I think the brakes I got for her car, even though I didn't think it mattered, hers is a 2.4 4-cylinder, and the brakes that I got for her car was like a 1.4 cylinder, which I didn't think that made much of a difference, but it actually did. It didn't fit, so I had to send them back and get my money back from them. So now I need to be really particular about the year, make, and model, and engine size for her car, because those brakes are really particular for some odd reason. So that's what needs to be done majorly is her brakes, as they're wobbling when they stop. So brakes, her suspension's a little bad. Got to get that taken care of. Valve cover gasket, which that's really easy to do, and then that should save her a little bit of oil consumption, because she is losing a little bit of oil. And then let's see what else. Spark plugs and coils, an air filter, and then so she's in probably a little bit of the motor. So basically, I don't know, it might be timing. So the motor is doing this crazy vibration. Even though I replaced all of the motor mounts except for one, it's still just not setting right. So I'm not quite for sure what that is. Maybe her timing is getting ready to go. I don't know. But it seems it starts, it runs, it drives, and there's no issue with power. So I'm not quite for sure why that's still shaking and vibrating after I've changed them all. It could be with the transmission. Maybe her CV axle need to be replaced. I'm not quite for sure, but something that I need to dive into. So that's something that will come to the channel soon. Is working on her car as well. For anybody who's got a Matrix, Toyota Matrix, or Pontiac Vibe, still going to be trying to get that all taken care of. Now, as far as the interior on her car, it's pretty much the same as mine. Trying to get her a more updated stereo with like a Android CarPlay stereo with a reverse camera. Probably need to change the all-wheel drive fluid in the rear. So that's something that I want to do, and that needs to be done. So that's on my next list of things that need to be done. And then let's see if I can get in front of this guy. Let's see, I think that's pretty much it. Her car is running pretty well, even with all that stuff that needs to be done. It's running really good. No check engine light, no nothing. So her car needs windows tinted. Mine needs windows tinted in the front. I forgot about the window tint. So just the regular old car stuff, just regular old car fixing stuff that needs to be done. Something that would normally be done if an average Joe person was getting it done. There's really not that much. No ooh and ah, no turbo or nothing like that. It's just keeping up the maintenance. So so that's what pretty much does, and add some cool creature comfort stuff to the vehicles. So that's pretty much the basic of the Pontiac and the truck. Like I said, it's just more maintenance stuff, few creature comforts that each vehicle would like to have. But that's about it. There's not really too much to do or an add. It's just a matter of getting the money together and executing it. So those are two. That's it for the two vehicles. So now I'm gonna do one more errand I gotta do, and we'll meet back at the house so we can do the motorcycle.
Okay, guys, so we're back home. So now the one last vehicle we're gonna be talking about is the bike. So the bike is pretty much good to go. If you have not seen my video on me doing the two front shocks, please go check them out. It's running really good. Suspension's great. I even fixed the coolant leak. I have I think a little bit of it's leaking out. I think I just need to tighten it just a little bit more. But other than that, it's just pretty much good. There's not too much to do to the bike, except for there's a few things. Most of it's maintenance stuff like air filter, spark plug, maybe eventually later replacing the clutch plates inside the clutch. I think that'd be good peace of mind. Maybe even upgrade the slave cylinder to a better smooth one. Just preventative maintenance stuff. Is everything I have is all preventative maintenance stuff. Maybe add some creature comforts while on the way. There are a few things I do want to add, so let's go over there and we'll talk about it. Okay, guys, so we're gonna look at the bike. I mean, everything looks really good. The forks look extremely good. No leaking on either side. Everything's all good. Everything's looking really, really nice, guys. It bounced up really well. I had a little bit of a leak, as you see right here, this little spot. I had a little bit of a leak from the thing, but I think it's just because it needs to be tightened just a little bit more down there. That right there, I think it just needs to be tightened just a little bit more. I think that's the only place it's leaking at. I have to start it up and retry it again. But there's a few other things I want to do to this bike. One of them is I got to replace the air filter. I want to replace the spark plugs. Then eventually later we'll do the clutch. I also wanted to upgrade this slave cylinder with a better one. There's a smoother one online that you can replace. You got to get it bled and replace it and stuff. That's something I wanted to do. But other than that, overall, it's actually really good. Some cosmetic stuff, like I want to get these bag covers, but I got them zip tied. They work just fine. But I want to get the actual covers back on there. So we will replace this and get some Munsuri glue to put back on there and get that taken care of. I wanted to get a bigger, an extra piece of a windscreen, because right now, if I do that, this will actually go, if I put another one up top, it'll go over my head. But really, right now, it's not a big deal. This is actually working now, the actual cruise control. You guys saw me install that. And it is actually working extremely well. I'm glad that I tinkered with it a little bit more and actually got that working. So that's actually going really well. Everything's good. Fluid's good. The oil I just changed not that long ago. I do want to change out the diff fluid. That's just an easy fix to do. You know, just there's a drain hole, there's a fill hole. Put some fresh one in there before we go riding again. You know, do some brake checks in the rear. Maybe take this rear wheel off and get it super clean. Yeah, just doing a few other things. The front's clean. I need to get it inspected. Now it's ready to be inspected, because now that I got the front forks, I didn't know if they would pass it with the leaking forks, but now everything is super good. So I can get this inspected and have an inspection sticker. Probably have them put it on somewhere, probably like right here, mounted on there. I don't want them to mount it on the forks. I think here would be perfectly fine. Nice, good flat spot, or something like this, or something like that, easy that can scrape it off without no issues. Or we can make a mount and then put it on there or something like that. But yeah, so that's what we plan on doing. Let's go ahead and start up and give you guys a listen sound. All right, so let's go ahead and, I haven't started this in a while, so why not? Sounds so good. So we're just gonna let it get some warmth in it. Everything's works really good. I do want to get these replaced. They're getting a little more foggy. I mean, they're clear. I mean, it's only good for like night riding, but I wouldn't mind getting this replaced with a nice clean, clear lens. I did try to do the little scrape restore of the headlights. It did okay, but I think this part here is probably a little gone. So yeah. So we'll let that warm up, get some warmth into it, and then once it gets to that little up past the cooling sign, and we'll just let it go, and we'll see what happens from there. So I just want to get some warmth into it because I haven't started in a while. So we'll come back when it's up to temp. Okay, guys, so we're back. So it's got a nice, good warm temp in it. Running really, really good. Super happy with it. Looking forward to taking it out again for another ride. I do want to get this exhaust replaced, but yeah, all in all, it's a good bike. We'll go ahead and shut it off. But yeah, it's a good bike, good running bike. I'm super happy to have it, and can't wait to do some more riding stuff with it. Definitely want to get it out more and take it for a ride when it gets. I really love this bike. I really want to keep this bike nice and running. I may take it in just for a maintenance look over, figure out how much that costs, drop it off, have them just give a good look over, and then go from there. And then, you know, if there's anything that needs to be fixed and addressed, we'll address it then. So guys, that's pretty much it. That's my plans for 2025 with the bike, the truck, and the car. A lot of it is pretty much just maintenance stuff. There's a lot of maintenance things that that needs to get done on it, and as they come along, I'll start showing them to you guys. But like I said, if I don't have anything to produce, I'm just not going to produce it. I'll just wait and plan and have everything kind of set, have my mind goal, I have things written down of what I want to do. It's just a matter of what comes first and alignment. Definitely working on the major stuff I need on each vehicle. The bike doesn't need really much major. The only thing it really needs is just maybe a maintenance check and an inspection, and that's pretty much it. There's not the major part that I wanted to do, which is the shocks and the forks. Those are done. So the other thing is just maybe taking the old ones I have into the shop and have them redone, but there's no rush for that right now. So we will wait to get that done, but I want to have them as a backup spare. So that way, when we're ready to swap them out, we can just swap them. There would be no delaying, just taking everything apart, swapping it, and putting it back on, and then the original ones will be back on there. So we can do the swap. So that's kind of a good idea to do that. I know some people probably wouldn't do that. They probably would just take the old ones and sell them, and then keep them. But I feel like if I have a new set ready to go, when those go bad, it's just really easy of just changing them out. There's really no delay time. Oh, the forks are going bad. Start swapping them out, and then just really swap them, and then keep on riding. So that's the plan for for the bike. There are some things I want to do for the truck. That is non-maintenance. There's a few items I would love to try to get implemented. It's just a matter of getting some money saved, sell some of these parts that I have, and hopefully, if I save and get it going, I could get some of that stuff done. One of the other things I did not mention for the bike, for the truck that I want to do, is I want to do those LED lights like I did in my Cadillac. I had it in my silver one, I had it in my white one. They went right across the front. Now this is a little different on the truck because there's no crossover for that. The grill and the hood are kind of together, so when you open it, the grill and the hood go up together, where in the Cadillac the grill was down below and you just open the hood. So you could easily put a strip right across. It looked really good and clean. A guy that follows me on Instagram did it to his vehicle, and he's gone good with it. He loves it, and a few other people have as well. I want to try to do that on the F-150, but it'll have to be something in the grill to illuminate the grill. So those lights are pretty bright. So if we could find some way to illuminate it inside the grill to get the light to come out, that'd be great. Or we may have to go with some brighter lights. I'm not really quite for sure. I only have one set that only goes like one corner of the grill. I'd have to order another set to get the other side and just to kind of see how it works. That is something that we really do. It's really cheap. It's not like super expensive to do. Just need to order another one, get it installed, and just figuring out how it's all going to play out. It may work, it may not work, but it would be a nice, pretty cool idea to give it a try. So that's the only other thing I was wanting to do that I forgot to mention on the truck. Car, the vibe is just morely maintenance stuff, some creature comforts that my wife wants to add. But just get in the car and keep it running on the road. Same thing with the truck, and the same thing with the bike, because my whole goal was getting the bike was so I could put the truck down and not drive it so much, because it's a big truck. It does burn a lot more gas than any of the vehicles we have. So this would be something good, especially if I'm not riding with anybody, or I'm just doing some small errand runs or something that I need to do. I could take the bike. That's the whole reason why I got it, because that's what that bike's built for, is to ride it around, and it's got it's good, runs good. I want to keep that running until it's time to start doing the clutches and stuff like that, and the valving. The valve is probably the most expensive thing on the bike that needs to be that would probably be done soon. Not really that soon, because it's not supposed to be done for like another 60 or 70,000 miles, and it only got 53,000 miles on it, so we got some time. But I do want to get it checked out to make sure that it's running tip top. If there's any issues, then we can address it. But as far as I know, so far it's running really, really good. It's got all the power. It rides amazing with the new front forks on, and I'm loving it. It's one of the best choices I've made. Doing the scooter build was good. I love doing the scooter build. You guys loved it, which was amazing. I would have loved to seen that thing go to my ideal goal, but it just didn't get there. So I'm super thankful for that and everything. So, but guys, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for 2025. Hopefully in the next video I got one video that I want to do. That's something I think we should talk about. So I don't want to spoil it, but we'll do it in another video. But yeah, as the stuff comes, we will start doing them and getting them out for you guys, and I'm hoping that 2025 will be a good year for my channel, and I definitely could not do it without you guys' love and support. So I thank you guys so much. And I'm hoping that 2025 will be a good year. I'm hoping to do some riding vlogs. I put a camera on my helmet and take some riding vlogs to get some more content for you guys and experience on this ride and talk more about this bike, because this bike's just like a diamond in the rough. Not a lot of people talk about this bike because it's not, they don't make it anymore. But I guarantee you, if you want a ZXR 14 for cheap, this is the bike to get, because it's the exact same motor on the exact same platform. The only difference is that this is a touring bike, an actual touring bike, and the ZX14 is a sport touring bike. And the difference is that this has 150 plus horsepower, and the ZX14 has almost like 200 horsepower. It's not exactly 200. It's pretty close, like 190, 198. This has probably got like maybe, I'd say 150, 155. So, but the noticeable difference in power is it's not. It's still a 1400cc bike. It's just been a little detuned, but you don't not notice the difference. It rips, it takes off, and if you're not careful, this thing will kill you. It's super fast. It's one of the fastest, highest performing bikes besides the ZXR 14, which is just stupidly fast. This is definitely up there with that level. Even though it's a touring bike, it still has a lot of oomph and power, and it'll get up there really quick. But I love it. It's a good bike. It's a good cheap bike to get if you're looking for something that's distant riding and high performance, and everything out of a ZXR 14 just in more comfort zone. That's the bike to get. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I know it's just more me talking, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up of what's going on for 2025, what I've been doing, how I've been doing, what's my plans, and what are my ideas, and we'll get them all rolling. But guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a good and blessed day, and I'm going to see you on the next fix. Until then, peace.